Here we're going to be talking about how to translate from words into algebra. So for the most part, we're going to be talking about translating into an equation, and the equation is going to be a function. In general, a function is basically something that just passes the vertical line test. It doesn't have any domain values that repeat with different range values, but here we're going to be talking about very specific types of functions that actually have an equation relating an x and a y to each other. Before we jump into that, we just have to talk about key math words. So we're going to talk about words that mean addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and what really means the equal sign. And then we're going to actually practice with directly translating from a sentence to a function, and actually back. And a little bit more in depth, we're actually going to be talking about how to go from a word problem all the way to a function, all the way to a graph of an equation. So before we get into all of that, we're just going to start out by defining our keywords. So anything in this list over here is going to be addition. So just an example of that could be x plus 3. So plus is an easy, simple word that means addition. We could also see the mathy word for that, which is sum. Sometimes you'll see it phrased in a word problem as combining or the total. And then we have these specific phrases that actually tell us to flip the order. If I say 3 is added to x, I'm actually starting with the 3. In the sentence, I say 3 first, but actually it comes second in the expression. Added to, or if I say more than. Both of those actually flip the order. If I say 3 more than a number, it's starting out with a number, and it's 3 more than that. The 3 actually comes second, even though in the actual sentence I say it first. And I could also say a number increased by 3. And when I'm talking about money, I'll usually talk about adding money as a deposit. For subtraction, I'm going to try to use the opposite words in the same spots. So the opposite of plus is minus. The mathy word for a subtraction problem is the difference. I'm going to try writing that again because it was kind of slow. When I say the difference between x and a number is happening in that order. The order that I say it, the difference between a number and 3 is going to be x minus 3. I could say in a word problem, you can see the phrase take away. And then we also have the phrase less than, which is the exact opposite of more than. But it does the exact same thing. If I say 3 less than a number, I'm saying I'm taking 3 away from a number. I start out with that number and I take away 3. It's 3 less than a number. It's happening in this one. I could also see decrease by. That does not flip the order. It's a number decreased by 3. And when I'm talking about money, oh, sorry, I have this one. Sorry, subtraction from. That actually is one that we're going to see flip the order. If I say 3 subtracted from a number, I start out with a number and it's 3 subtracted from that. The 3 actually happens after that. When I'm talking about money, I'm talking about withdrawing money. Sometimes you might also see deducting. So there's specific words in here that mean flip the order, and they only really deal with addition and subtraction when we see the words from, then, or to. From, then, to, that means we have to switch the order of whatever we see. So anytime we see from, then, or to, that means we're flipping the order of whatever is naturally written in the English sentence. For multiplication, we can just see multiply by. We can see the matching word of product. You can see the really simple word of just times. Then we have specific ones. Multiplying by 2 is doubling something. Multiplying by 3 is tripling something. For example, if I say triple a number, that would be 3 times x. I could also see 1/2 of. Or 1. Let me write that a little bit smaller. I see 1/2 of or 1/3 of. That word of is actually telling us to multiply. That would look like this: 1/2 of a number is 1/2 times that number, or 1/3 times that number. We could also see phrases in a word problem that say per, each, or every. All of those mean the exact same thing. Per, each, or every. Those all mean multiplication. The problem is they can actually mean division also. They can also mean division. Kind of just depends on the sentence that you're seeing there. If I say, how many pieces of candy do you eat per hour? That's actually division. If I say you ate 6 pieces of candy per hour, and you want to find the total that you actually ate, that's multiplication. So it kind of depends on how those are used. We could also see just simpler ways of writing division, which is divided by, or the mathy way is quotient. Or I can split something evenly. Might also see that phrase a little bit differently. Actually, division seems to be the more fluid one that's used, but split evenly is a key phrase that you might see. So if I say a number is split evenly over 3 months, that means I'm dividing that number by 3. Equals is usually the most straightforward. Anytime you see the word is, or any form of the word is. So you can see are. You can see the future will be. You can see the past was. Any form of the word is. Sometimes you'll see total. And the mathy way to say equals is a total. This should just basically be a word bank for you to use as you're going through these problems. Just check in on these and think about what those words really mean before you just commit to an expression.